So Black Space Black Art is all about taking African American artists and African American owned barbershops, beauty salons, or both, or another like-minded business, and creating a space for a changing gallery for Black artists. So I thought about this, the concept, I first learned about it in San Diego, California, back in like 2002. I had a performance there, and it was, I think it was called Jay's Barber and Bookstore. And it just sat with me that I saw these 5 pieces of art for sale at a barbershop, and it just stuck. So as I was thinking about how in Kansas City we have so many amazing visual artists, but where do they show? I love visual arts, particularly by Black people, and I am moved by it. One, just even in my own upbringing, my grandmother is a visual artist, and she is 96 years old, and I have her art all over my house. She used to gift people art when they, moved or graduated or something like that. She also gifted all of us homemade quilts, and so I've just grown up around domestic arts and art as a way of life, and that has just stuck with me. So I just made a decision on the first day of Kwanzaa that I was going to just go ahead and do it, because I had been urged by Harold Smith, who is a visual artist and a dear friend of mine, and he was like, this is an amazing idea, you should do it. And he didn't let up. And so Harold is a man of few words. So when he says something to you consistently, you know that you should make a move. So the idea that barbershops and beauty salons are still, they receive a lot of traffic. Sometimes people just drop in for walk-ins. Other times people are coming consistently. What happened if it was our art displaying our aesthetic in these really awesome Black spaces? Black ass spaces. Barbershops, beauty salons. So a changing gallery is just that, what it sounds like. This space, these salons and barbershops are just spaces, and for the first 3 months they're going to have artist A, and for the next 3 months they're going to have artist B and C and D, and so on. What is required of the business owner is they have to want to be open to having a variety of different art. Well, I require that first that the artists are coachable because this is new, and so there are going to be things that they have to learn how to do that may be a little uncomfortable. One, every single salon and barbershop is different. The spaces are configured differently. The walls are completely different. I have some very old buildings that are historic and have like chicken wire and plaster and high gloss or semi-gloss or flat. I mean, it's just, there are all these different challenges to hanging the art. So that in itself is its own, an openness to that. I want them to be high volume at the time that they come. So, and that their work is evolving, because every 3 months they'll be showing somewhere else. And so the hope is that they'll sell at each salon and barbershop. And if they're selling 3 to 4 pieces, that means that they would need to replace those pieces as we move through. And that is really, I want to push art. I want people to purchase original African American art. There are 3 things that I'm passionate about: art, education, building things from the ground up, access. These are 4 things. But I like the convergence of all the things that I love, which I feel like some artists, not all of them, are maybe a little more introverted or not so much on the business side of things, but that's the thing that I love. I love interacting with people and creating possibilities for places, so for artists to show, or putting things that are normally marginalized at the center. We don't really get to see how marginalized Black artists are until you walk into a Black barbershop or beauty salon and you see Black art everywhere, and people are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, or oh my gosh, this really changes the space. So it just lets you know how little we even have that. Even in our own churches, I don't think we are necessarily thinking about them as a changing gallery, and so I want to change the face of that. And I want people to know about artists. I want people to exalt Black art, and I want them to feel like they can own it. When you purchase art, art only appreciates with time. So these are things that you can literally pass down generation to generation. We don't know how famous anyone is going to be. We just know that when we buy a piece of art, it resonates with us, and it gives us an emotional response. I'm definitely the worst visual artist that the world has ever created, but that doesn't take away my love for it. I write poetry, and I've collaborated with visual artists with my poetry, and I have a chance to have my work in London at the Red Rooster, and so I've just been able to go and have my art in different places, and so I thought this would be great if I could create a space for other people to have the same thing.